Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sweet and Sour Soccer. Look, as a Wolves fan, you could probably hear the exhaustion in my voice. This is not a video I wanted to be doing on transfer deadline day. I was hopeful that maybe we'd pull off something special. A Renato Sanchez, a Ramsey, and by a couple of hours ago, I was even debating whether Jack Wilshere on a free would be good. But once again, it looks like Wolves will not be bringing in anyone else this window. And I'm going to be basically discussing have the man on screen, and of course not just him, but Fosun let us down. Now, guys, please do hit the like button and help cheer up a Wolves fan. We're about 30 subs away from 2,000 subs. If everyone that watches this who isn't subscribed, we'd hit that mark. So come on, help out a Wolves fan. Right, let's get on with it, because once again, it looks like Sky Sports recently confirming that Wolves are done for the day. They've left. There's going to be no one coming in. And it begs the question of, have Fosun let Wolves down? Have they let the fans down? And have they even more so let Bruno Lage down? Now, of course, this is an interesting one because I want to talk about Bruno Lage. What must he be thinking at the moment? And I'm going to dive into a couple of articles that started, obviously, in and around January. And the first one coming from, I think one of them was the Telegraph. I can't remember who the other one was. It's not really important. But Lage saying that he wanted top signings. And then, I don't know if you guys can see that well, but the one on the right, the Telegraph, is basically saying that Bruno Lage wants free Wolves signing, but the club don't want to spend. Now, if you remember, Bruno Lage was very vocal about this before having to refrain what he was going to say. And he actually scaled it back and just said, actually, all I want is, I think it was either a centre-back or centre mid. He just asked for one player, and that's still not been delivered, of course. And I'm using this as a bit of therapy, to be honest, guys. If you can't already tell, I want to get your guys' impressions, opinions on this. Have we been let down? As a Wolves fan, have we been let down in this transfer window? Because you have to ask yourself, what is Bruno Lage thinking at the moment? You know, I'm sure he feels let down. We're currently on a path to European football. And what must he be thinking, because he has not been backed? I mean, we truly are on the verge of something special. Now, I want to get across before, I know a lot of people, or some people, will still be saying, oh, well, we were in League One before. The problem I have with that is when Fosun took over, as they said very clearly that they wanted to invest and they wanted to keep on pushing us up the table, and even challenge a 10-year plan. It was to challenge for the Premier League title. Now, some would argue we're still within that. But then at the same time, I'd also throw back the intent the last couple of seasons hasn't been brilliant at all. You saw nothing major in the summer. We saw nothing major this January, and especially when we're so depleted in centre midfield. And I've brought up Ruben Neves for a good reason at the moment, because if we lose him, we lose our chances of Europe. It's as simple as that, and I don't think anyone can dispute that. If we lose Ruben Neves, there is no chance of us getting European football. And what I mean by losing, of course, we're not going to sell him obviously, I mean, through injury. We've also got a 36-year-old João Moutinho who could quite easily get injured. And we've then got Dendoncker or an inexperienced Luke Kundle that would have to step up to the plate. Now, those that have watched for a while know my thoughts on Dendoncker. I don't think he's good enough. I think Neves, Moutinho is working well, but there is absolutely no backup at all. And we are running a massive risk of basically what could be an amazing season. One injury to either Neves, and especially Neves, or Moutinho, and this whole season basically derails for me. I really think it does. And questions have to be asked. As I said, Fosun did promise us that investment. They promised us everything. And I think if they had took over us and literally just said to the fans that we just want to get you back up to the Premier League. We want to get you back up to the Premier League. We want to make you a safe, stable Premier League club. I think we would have bit their hands off. And I think the attitude would have been very different now to how many Wolves fans are feeling on this transfer deadline day. They've not ever gone back on those claims that they want to keep on pushing and keep on driving things forward. So it is a real letdown for me personally to not see anyone coming in. But maybe I'm being a bit ungrateful. Please do let me know. Of course, though, there was a major, there was a player that left, obviously, in this transfer window. Adama Traore. Now, Adama Traore, divided opinion. But I think, considering we brought in no one of experience, I think everyone would agree we'd be a lot better without him until at least the summer. Of course, we have brought in Chiquinho. That I think the lad looks good. He looks promising. But at the moment, the first game was in the under-23s. Okay, yes, he looked very promising. But it's a massive step to fill Adama Traore, if you ask my opinion. But I don't want this just to be negative, and I want it to be somewhat balanced. So maybe they have, yet again, unearthed the talent. Now, people would say Kilman, Totti Gomez. Obviously, we brought in other young talent, the likes of Luke Kundle getting game time. And people have mixed opinions on that too. Have Fosun just got lucky that we've managed to find a Gomez, that we've managed to find a Kilman? Or is this the master plan all along that we will have to keep selling, but we're going to replace with quality players? And of course, one of those might be Luke Kundle. Given a chance now to step up in the centre mid position, you imagine he will be getting some minutes, probably a bit more than he would have done if, obviously, we'd brought in a centre midfielder. Will we be sitting there at the end of the summer and saying this was a masterclass? Because instead of wasting 30 million, we've got a 30 million pound player on our hands. I think it's a big risk. I really do. But if it is something that pays off, then we all have to hold our hands up and go, fair play, Fosun. So it's such a balance, to be honest. It really is a balance, and I am somewhat grateful. And I've always been an advocate of giving the youth a chance. And I do think maybe, just maybe, it does work in our favour. But it is very wishful thinking. And of course, the last player I wanted to speak about, we lost Adama, but we're bringing back Pedro Neto. Will we really feel the effect of Adama leaving when Neto comes back? We know what he can offer. He will probably steer us to European football, providing we don't lose Neves. So yes, it has been a very frustrating transfer window. I feel let down. I really do. I feel let down. I feel that we're maybe 1-2 investments away from European football and a guaranteed European football. And I'm sure we'll have all the excuses in the world about why we haven't signed players. But of course, at the same time, it's not dead and buried. We've got the likes of Pedro Neto coming back, who will obviously, if he comes back at how he left before his injury, it will be absolutely amazing. So how are you guys feeling? Do you feel this transfer window's dead? Do you feel our chance of European football have been killed by, the lack of activity in the transfer window? What's the general feeling? I'm keen to know amongst Wolves fans. I've tried to give a very balanced view. You could probably tell I am very disappointed, but I'm trying as a Wolves fan, as we always do, to somewhat see the positives. And hopefully you guys will too. So guys, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel. As I said earlier, help a Wolves fan out. And hopefully I'll see you again on the next video. Goodbye.